Dear friend, today is not going the way that I wanted it to go. And so this is a letter to tell you about why I'm cutting my losses. I recently completed driving lessons because I got my driving license, which is wonderful. Upon trying to refund the money that I paid for the lessons, because there's this guarantee that says you can refund any unused hours if certain conditions apply. And so I attempted to do that. I was refunding 4 hours, and the last package I paid was £40 per hour. The portal said that I was only entitled to 2 hours at £40 per hour and 2 hours at £33 per hour. I paid for 2 separate packages because the instructor's rates had increased during the time that I was studying with him. First, I messaged the instructor to see if there's anything that he knew about, and he just told me to contact the AA. The first lady told me that she couldn't refund more than the amount that I paid, which is ridiculous. She tried to make me feel like a villain. I asked to speak to a manager. She told me one would call, but nobody called. I also asked for a phone number. The number she gave me was temporarily unavailable, so I went back onto chat and spoke with another lady. This lady ended up calling me on the phone, and she was a little bit better at explaining why there were 33 pound-hour rate hours that had not been used. She said it had to do with the system, and that when he upped his rate, it couldn't deduct the leftover 33 pound hours because there just wasn't enough credit there. And it's just kind of semantics. So I explained it to her, and at first she seemed understanding, and she said, oh, she could contact the instructor because I said the instructor understands. I already messaged him and he told me to speak to you. She said, oh, I realize that this is not about using those hours. It's actually for a refund. We can't help you. So this company was willing to blame me for not using the hours. There was no designation to say which rate I was using. I had assumed that the ones I had purchased first would be used first. And then they were willing to pass on the rate difference to their instructor, but they're unwilling to pay a measly £14 to their client. And you'd think that a company that deals with thousands, hundreds of thousands of customers a year and manages millions of pounds could just rectify this. It's not very hard. They say, oh, I see where you're coming from. We will just be able to refund you the additional fees. If they have to siphon £14 off of somewhere else, I think they'd be able to do it. But their customer service chose not to. And so after an hour of this irritating conversation and messages, I have just cut the losses. My time is worth more than £14 an hour. But I'm just sharing for anybody else who runs a business that there is a much nicer way to treat your customers. I am sure that if I were on the other side, I would be understanding and not try to nickel and dime people who've paid me hundreds of pounds to learn a skill. That's the end. I am reclaiming my time and my power, and also shaking my finger at AA. Like, you guys are supposed to be good at helping your customers, many of whom are in actual emergencies. You think you would have really nice customer service. I was disappointed. But life goes on. Life goes on. So friends who are not the AA customer service people that I spoke to, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you don't come into any annoying snags like this, but if you do, and if they are unwilling to resolve it, you can't control other people, you can just let go and peacefully detach. Sharing infinite love.